The following presentation is for mature audiences only.
Who are you?
He's a fine man.
All hell is broken loose.
He's a great broadcaster.
He's a very powerful guy. Absolutely brilliant.
Feared by men, adored by women.
He's a smart boy.
It's patriotic.
It's no big deal.
It's the end of the world.
I might as well tell you now. He's a monkey.
And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome into another edition of The Wild Side with Eric Clark. I'm your host, Eric Clark, saying thank you for taking time out of your day to give this video a watch and a listen. If you like it, like it. If you think other people are going to like it, give it a share. You know the deal. I'm not going to ask for your money. I'm just going to ask for you to watch it, like it, share it, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you are linked up with me on the YouTube channel and subscribe. That way you get the notification when I drop a hot new steamy one. Also, you can link up with me on all of my social media as well, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That way you have a nice direct line to me of communication. But remember, I do have a day job and kids, so let's not keep me in front of the computer all day. I want to thank everybody who has participated, who has subscribed and left me comments, and also listened to me. Thank you so much. And today's video is going to reflect in that. I've asked you before, if you're going to leave a comment, just follows the basic decency guidelines of human being. And secondly, when try to go through, do a little reading. And if you see that someone has suggested already the song you would like me to watch or the video you'd like me to watch, just throw a comment in their comment. Yes, I agree. I concur. I saw that one. Whatever you want to put in there to show your agreement to that comment. That way, as a former radio guy, I am able to, in my mind, compile it like I would a request list. So again, if you have a comment, leave it below, read through. Make sure you're not hammering me with redundancy. Speaking of radio, if you do have a radio question about how radio works, why corporate radio is the way it is, by all means, I am an open book. I do not worry about any relationships I've had in the past, so you can ask me anything, and I will answer to the best of my ability. Just an all caps write radio question. That way I know when looking through the comment section to focus on that one as well. Last night was a rough night, and today's video is a huge thank you to the people that make the Wild Side happen. That would be Aspen Dental and Connect 200. Yesterday, after close of business, I broke a tooth. Not only that, my power went out last night, so I was without heat until about 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, by the way, it was the coldest night of the year so far. So there are a lot of mittens and a lot of sleeping bags broken out. And when I finally got my power back, my computer was fried. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. I thought I had a surge protector and everything, but it seems that the power it did something to it. I don't know, man. So luckily, I have my own personal IT concierge. So in the morning, I called Rick. Rick said, bring it in. I brought it in. Bingo, boingo, bango. I have a whole new computer. So thank you to Connect 200. Thank you to Bob at Aspen Dental for fixing my tooth and getting my smile back. Bob is he's the architect of my smile. So I listened to Bob. And speaking of Bob, he's the reason we're here today. In the last comment section, somebody said, I'm going to keep suggesting Epica until you finally do it. And I responded with, I appreciate your tenacity. I respect that. I'll see what I can do. So I had it on my list. I've got my composition book here and my Sharpie, and I try to keep up with everybody's suggestions. I write them down. I took a picture of it. It's up on my social media, so you can see all of the bands that everybody, and you're hammering me. I love it. You guys are just killing me. You can see all the bands that have been suggested: Unleash the Archers, Ginger, The Warning, Sabaton, Ansonville, Arch Enemy, Giannis Papadopoulos, Arion, Bloody World, and of course, more Nightwish. And again, I think I'm going to have to do like an every other one kind of a thing. Last video was bad. Go back and watch that one. It was Baby Metal with Rob Halford, and it's not the reason you think it is. So, but Aesthetic Perfection, that's a band, right? Yeah. Aesthetic Perfection. Somebody gave me that one as well. So today I went in, get my tooth fixed, and while I was sitting there talking back and forth with Bob, my tooth guy, he's also suggesting bands as well. So I get these little notes from him while I've got stuff in my mouth. He's, oh yeah, by the way, I love how they do that at the dentist. That's the oldest comedian trope in the world. Hey, everything going good? Hey, I got suggestions for you. So that happened today, and he brought up Epica. And I thought, wow, that's crazy, because that's one of the biggest recommendations in my comment section has been Epica. And everybody's been wanting me to check out Epica. The issue I'm having is everybody's giving like different tunes. So I'm having a hard time trying to narrow it down to the one that will give me the best representation of what you want me to see from this band, and also something that will satisfy, okay, even though he didn't pick the song I suggested, that'll do, pig. That'll do. So today, we're going to dive into Epica. I know very little about this band other than the lead singer is Simone Simons. I know that she has done work with other people. I've seen her as a guest vocalist on other people's songs and in other performances. So I know she exists, right? And I know she is a trained singer because, again, everybody in the comment section has kind of led me down this path. But I also looked into the band as well, and I really hope I get everybody's names correct. You guys have been great with helping me be able to pronounce people's names correctly. So hopefully when I do the recap at the end, I'll be able to, not sound like a complete and total American from the South, because I say things like Fidenda and all that other stuff. So today we're going to France, and it's live at the Zenith. This is Epica with Consign to Oblivion. And we're going to check it out. Here we go.
The last song for tonight. But we always come back to Paris. Because we love Paris.
It's a dirty city, by the way.
Last song for tonight.
Great city.
You know the drill.
We all know.
Open up in the middle to create the wall of epic.
This is straight up Megadeth. I love it.
I'll count down from 3 before we go, alright? First, hold! 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 3, 2, 1, go!
Love that moment.
Prosperity of today.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, you guys fucking rock! Thank you so much for this fantastic evening!
You're welcome.
See you all soon again! Come on!
I'm sorry, but I'm getting a really big wave right here of and this isn't a comparison. It's nothing like that. This is a moment in music I'm talking about here. I'm not comparing. One of my favorite moments in rock and roll is the string breakdown in Still of the Night by Whitesnake. I think it's iconic. I think it's brilliant. I think it's one of the most well-constructed moments in modern rock, that symphonic breakdown in Still of the Night, because it matches the grandness of that song. So I love this right here.
We'll see you all soon again! Come on!
Ooh. That's heavy. Anyone who says strings don't belong in metal, they don't belong in metal. Is he riding a skateboard keyboard? Is he riding a skateboard keyboard? Dolly keys, nice. Nice times, nice signature thing. That was good. That was good. That was a good time change.
This West is killing.
Again, I'm going to need a second after that. Thank you, Epica. So that was Epica, co-signed to Oblivion, live at the Zenith in Paris, France. Suggested by the comment section of previous videos and Bob, my tooth guy. It's amazing how that came together today. Wow. Absolutely. I mean, the name of the band, it's almost like they co-signed that word so you couldn't really use it in a way, like The Who. Their name is Epica, and you go, okay, I have nothing more really to add to that. That was grand. That is a grand performance, and that was a well-constructed song. And I want to go back to that comment. I hear a lot of influences in there. I can tell that there's some Queensryche listening going on, some Dream Theater happening, but I'm also hearing older and deeper sounds of metal that are, as the Cake song says, bowel-shaking earthquakes is what you're wanting from your metal. Wow, there's just so much to unpack from that. There really is. And the driving factor of that song, that grandness, that bigness, is the drums. That's the first time I've seen that cat. And I hope I get his name right. It's Arian van Wiesenbeek. Arian van Wiesenbeek. I'm going to call you the drummer, one of the greatest drummers I've ever seen. That was incredible that you did that for 10 minutes. What are your calves like? I bet his calves look like softballs, like grapefruits. I bet they do. Because that guy just ran 5 miles in 10 minutes. That was incredible. He just sprinted 5 miles. That was incredible. Wow. The relationship between the bass player and the drummer was really the thread that went through that song that just made it so amazing for me. Well-constructed song. That was a very well-composed piece of music, and I believe it's Mark Janssen. If you're telling me I'm saying this name wrong again, then you need to start spelling them differently. That's all I'm saying. If it's Janssen, it's Janssen. Mark Janssen, the lead singer, the male singer in this song, what an incredible presence he has. That's a great voice. That is absolutely a great voice. The way he's able to maintain that at that low of a register while still producing what we talked about before in that thickness. Wow, just really, really good. The thing I want to address with the fans of this band, though, and it struck me at first, okay? And remember, I'm coming to you from a corporate programmer point of view. This is a very niche sound. This is not a mainstream sound. There are parts of this song, elementally, that are mainstream, without a doubt. Like I talked about that breakdown, that symphonic break that I brought up, Whitesnake. It had that mainstream sound. It did. But there are other elements that make it niche. Now, what I love about this band is I don't think anyone cares. Like, I don't think anyone in the band or anyone in the audience or any of their fans, while they want the band to have more exposure, they want the band to be bigger, they want everyone to know that this is one of the greatest Scandinavian, Swedish, Finnish bands ever, I don't think they care if they are. I think that from what I saw, and again, we're going to go to the Trinity here, the relationship between the band and the crowd. I don't think the thought of anyone outside of that circle was considered in that moment. I don't think anyone with a tie, anyone in charge of a record label, a promoter, a guy like me, a programmer at a radio station, I think you couldn't care less about our opinions. I love that. That reminds me a lot of the Grateful Dead. It really does. There's a difference between commercial success and radio success. And sometimes the two go together, and sometimes they don't. I believe in the United States, first off, it's a 10-minute tune. This is a 10-minute song. Secondly, it's not a mainstream track. You might find it on a sub-channel of an HD channel of a cluster or something like that. But and I don't think you want them to be commercialized. Having worked in the industry for a long time, I know how jaded and how quickly you can get that way. So sometimes I see a band like this and I say, as much as I want the world to hear them, I don't want them spoiled by the world, because the world is a horrible place. It really is. And that band doesn't deserve anyone who doesn't get what just happened. That was a one-act play. That was an opera. That was rockestra. You can call it symphonic metal. You can call it death metal. You can call it whatever you want. I call that rockestra. That, to me, was no different than Operation Mindcrime. I heard the Queensryche in there. I heard the Cradle of Filth. I heard all of those influences in there, and I'm even going to go with, Seasons in the Abyss by Slayer. I heard some of that in there. I heard some Exodus. There's a band out of the UK early in the dark metal, or whatever they're calling it, on their Wikipedia page, if they even have one. I don't even know if these guys have one. Canvas or Carcass. Sorry, Canvas was another. Canvas is a progressive rock band. Carcass out of the UK. These are bands that never really cared if the guy with the tie and the cigar knew what they were. I saw a bunch of people on stage completely in the moment, and it came through that sound. The crowd was incredible when that pit started. That was really cool. I love that moment. I love that moment that they were able to match and create that moment in the crowd during that countdown at the beginning. I love that moment in the pit. I was at a Slipknot show here in Nashville, and they did the Corey Taylor did the, hey, hold on, let's get this going right. And it was that moment right before where everything is building up. Everything's on pins and needles. Everything is ready to go. And then it unleashes, and they matched it. This is a song that I'm surprised some WWE guy doesn't use, or UFC. If I were going in to kick the shit out of somebody, that would be my entrance music, followed by probably by Nightwish. What is in the water? Are you breeding these women? Simone Simons, Floor Jansen, what are you doing over there? You're making furniture I can't put together and female metal singers that are peeling skin off my face. What are you doing? What's happening in Scandinavia? What is happening? Could someone explain to me? Is this a new wave? Because I'm seeing it, and it's not coming from the United States. And it's so weird to see a movement of metal. And again, going back years, there's always been metal bands coming out of Europe and the UK and Germany and Japan. And I think there was one called Bulldozer back in the day out of Italy. So we're kind of used to it. But this new wave of female-led metal, I think this might be a moment in time to just stop and say, hold on a second. This isn't anything we've known before. So what Simone Simons is doing and what Floor Jansen are doing, even bands like Wagaki Band and Love Bites, it is, but it isn't, right? It is metal, but it isn't metal. It is metal, but it's Epica. It is metal, but it's Nightwish. So it's not what you think it's going to be. That was a fantastic song. And again, well constructed, well composed. Somebody in that band understands how to put together a flowing, composed piece of music, not just a hit. These aren't hit makers. And that's another reason why some bands don't receive mainstream success, because they don't want to make hits. They want to do what they do. I always ask bands, what do you want to do? You want to shoot bullets? You want to shoot buckshot? I don't think this band cares. I think all they care about is making music, and that is awesome. That's what we need. Now, I hope that they're managed and produced by people who are on that page and not on their own page. That's a danger that bands can run into. But I don't think this band is really concerned about it. So the relationship they have with the audience is there. The relationship they have with each other, again, talk about being in the pocket. Obviously, these cats have been playing for a while. They know each other very well. The Peccadillos are understood by each other. As with the other bands I've highlighted, no one's getting in anybody's way. Nobody's trying to usurp the spotlight. As a matter of fact, there weren't really spotlights on that stage. A lot of flames. Kiss would be proud. But there were more can lights. You know, maybe some Kliegs up front, but really there was no main spotlight there. So I love the way that they were able to play that double dutch, you know, play that hopscotch game with each other and stay out of each other's way, and just very well-oiled machine. That's the only real word I can come up with. And Simone Simons, man, just absolutely clean in that width. And again, so hard to get. So hard to get when someone's at that high of a register. They're on the verge of getting screechy. There was no worry that this young lady wasn't going to hit that note and hold it. Absolutely brilliant. She must be trained, right? Like, that's trained. That's opera. That's what I heard. I heard opera. I heard Wagner and you know, Rollins band. If that makes any sense. But that was absolutely beautiful. Co-signed to Oblivion at the Zenith. I still, though, I can't get over that drummer. I just can't get over that guy, man. Man, that was deep. That was deep, and that was heavy. That cat went 2 knuckles deep into me. I love drums. I love metal drums. That was part of the thing I dug about DJing in nightclubs. I love tribal. I love that drums, you know, draw this part of you out that is savage. It's a part of you that is bass. It's sloping forehead, cave-dwelling, Zog hate fire. That's what it taps into. And as it starts to build in you, it starts to filter through the logic and the reason inside of you. And then by the time it hits my brain, those colors in the spectrum have finally become this brilliant white, bluish white, pulsing light. Now, every time he's hitting that double roll, it's just this defibrillator of madness that's creating this brilliant cacophony in my brain, where I'm just seeing light just shoot inside my head, just all over. It's like bouncing around inside. That's what drummers are supposed to tap into. The 2 things you don't control about the human body is what makes your foot tap and what makes you laugh. You can't control those. You can't control what you find funny, and you can't control what makes you headbang. That is Zog hate fire along with Albert Einstein in that drumming. Incredible, technical, clean, yet brutal drumming. I called it cacophonous, but cacophonous is really a word that can also bring up a disarray. When you hear someone say cacophony, they think it's a disarray, and it's not. That was a brilliant cacophony. That was a well-orchestrated riot of sound. And I'm going to have to go deeper into this catalog, because that was a lot to unpack right there. That was a lot to take in. So I'm going to get a little deeper. But that drummer, Arjen van Wiesenbeek, I really hope I'm saying your name right, dude, because you deserve it. You deserve your name to be shouted from the rooftops. And again, Simone Simons, just clean and thick and commanding. Again, just everybody's presence on that stage, from Mark to everybody, was just in control. They were in control of their sound. They were in control of their presence, and they were in control of that audience. And that band right there, that's a really good band. That's one of the best I've heard in a while. Really was, man. That was excellent. Thank you very much for that suggestion. Thank you, Bob, over at Aspen Dental. While sitting in a chair, you gave me that suggestion. And thank you to the folks on the comment section that suggested that as well. Because I was having a hard time trying to narrow down which song you wanted. But luckily, everybody said, no, just stick to this one. It'll be fine. I'm still trying to, again, you know, as niche as that is, it should still be, I don't know, man. It's confusing my corporate radio programming brain. So I'm still trying to unpack all of that. So thank you everybody for that. Again, if you have a comment for me, if you have a suggestion, something you want me to check out, leave it below in the comment section. But remember, as we do in pits like that, look out for each other, respect each other. You give respect, you get respect. You do good things happen. And that's how we should treat each other in the comment section, not falling into the internet habit of being negative right away. So I know every time I'm glad people are walking past. So let's try to treat each other with respect, and that way we get respect back. And I would rather have respect than attention. So again, thank you very much for taking time out of your day to give this a watch and a listen. If you like it, like it. If you think someone else is going to like it, give it a share. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Hit the notification button. That way you get the little bell ring when I drop one of these new ones. You can also link up with me on all of my social media accounts. That way you have a direct line to me of communication. We can chat. If you have any questions for me, I try to be as open and honest as possible. I try. Big thank you to Aspen Dental and Connect 200. Without those two, you wouldn't be getting this. I wouldn't have been able to sit here and watch this video today. So thank you to Connect 200. Thank you to Aspen Dental. You make the wild side possible. And thank all of you for continuing to make suggestions, educate me, and give me the information I need to go into these videos. So thank you very much. Again, leave your suggestions below. Look out for each other. Look out for your neighbor. Try to do at least one good thing a day. I am Eric Clark, and this has been The Wild Side.